Good morning. Yes, today we'll continue doing exercise in the workbook. I think last time we were doing the articles, I think. Right? Which sentence we stopped at last time? Which sentence? 20.
It's 22.
Not 22?
Yes.
Yes. Who would like to do number 22? Yes.
One day about noon, zero article. Robinson Crusoe was surprised to see the print of a man's naked foot on man's zero.
Yes.
On the shore. He could see it very clearly in the sand.
Yes. Then one day about noon on zero article, Robinson zero article, Crusoe was surprised to see the print of a man's naked foot on the shore. He could see it very clearly in the sand. Yes. Next. Next.
Medicine can be unpleasant, even dangerous. The remedy can be worse than the disease. It can cure the disease and kill the patient.
The medicine in zero article can be unpleasant, even dangerous. The remedy can be worse than the disease. It can cure the disease and kill the patient. Yes. Next. Next.
A little fire burns up a great deal of corn.
Yes. Even a little fire burns up a great deal of corn. Zero article. Next.
Andrew is studying Roman law at university, and Paul is doing research in either 16th century literature. كلهم zero.
Zero.
Or the literature of the early Renaissance. I don't know which.
Even or the early, so the literature of the early Renaissance. Yes. Next.
I'm going to town by the bus, or we can say by bus.
By bus.
And coming back on the train, I'll come by the 2015 train, I think.
Then I'm going to town, zero article, by bus, we can say by the bus. And coming back on the train, I come by the 2:15 train, I think. Next. Yes.
John Smart was trained as a lawyer. Then he took up politics and was returned as a member of parliament. He was appointed a junior minister in the White administration and was later made Minister of the Interior.
Yes.
I guess.
And John Smart was trained as a lawyer. Then he took up politics. He took up politics and was retained as a member of parliament. Your article. He was appointed a junior minister in the White administration and was later made Minister of the Interior. صحيح شو عندكم؟ ألو؟ سلام ورحمة الله. هذا فيك يا لا إن شاء الله. خلاص إن شاء الله. إن شاء الله. خلاص إن شاء الله. إن شاء الله. Okay. Next. Yes. Number 28, I think. Yes. We went on
board without an article.
Zero article, yes. We went on board.
The canton in the evening.
Yes, the canton in
the evening.
The evening, yes.
And sailed during the night.
The night, yes.
We were then at sea for 6 weeks.
Yes, zero article.
That is why zero article. That is why we were away at Christmas and the New Year.
Yes, in Christmas and.
Or we can say and the New Year.
Yes, New Year or the New Year, yes. Good. Next.
My brother has a very good job. He is the director of department in a new factory down by sea. Down by sea with a seat on the board.
Yeah, my brother has a very good job. He is the director of a department in a new factory by a sea, ممكن أن see, with the seat on the board. With the seat on the board. Next.
Love of money is the root of all evil.
We can say love of money or the love of money. Love of money or the love of money, طبعا zero money. A root of all the evil. Of all, the root of all evil. Okay. Then the love of love money is the root of all evil. Zero. And this is what this exercise is about articles. And we know how to use articles. Or zero articles. Okay. Any question about this? About articles? Okay. Now, if you don't have any articles, sorry, you don't have any questions, we can move to the next exercise of 51. Put into the singular as many of the nouns in the following sentences as can be used in the singular in the context and make other changes that then become necessary. Number 1. Then we change this sentence to what? Into singular. طبعا these are or these sentences have plural. Now we should change them into a singular. Number one. The Middle Ages were times of feudal rivalries. Now, for Middle Ages can be changed into singular. Can we see the Middle Age?
No.
No. Even this.
No, we can't.
We can't make it singular.
We can't say that.
In the Middle Ages were times of feudal. What about rivalries? Can we change singular? We can.
Okay. Yes, we can say rivalry, I guess.
نقول هنا the Middle Ages were times of a feudal rivalry. لازم نستخدم article صار singular, okay? What? A feudal rivalry. Okay, and singular we should use what? Indefinite article the okay. 2.
The driver must produce his.
The drivers must produce.
Even the driver must produce.
There بتصير
his certificates. The customs. Can we change customs into custom?
Yes.
بس هو كاستم لها معنى هنختار اذا نحولها لسنجولار يصير معنى مختلف كاستمز وكاستم.
صح. Yes.
إذا this cannot be changed customs. ممكن certificate تقول certificates أو certificate. Okay. Can we change the soldier to singular?
Yes.
Yes. إذا نقول إيش؟
The soldier
left
his arm in the parak.
High arms. Can we change arms here to singular?
No.
No. إذا حولنا للصيغة بصير the meaning is different.
Yes.
إذا the soldier left his arms in the
parak بتصير singular.
Yes, in the barrack. Okay. We can change barracks to singular. Yes. Next.
Can I do it?
Yes.
Barracks بتصير barak is a building used as a military quarters.
A barrack is a building. So we cannot change barracks into what in the singular. Okay, barracks are in general. Okay, barracks are buildings used as military quarters. So there are no change in the sentence. Okay, we don't change. Next.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Goods trains carry heavier loads than trucks do. A good train carries a heavier load than a truck does.
Even a good train or a goods train? A good.
Yes, we change it to a good train.
فينا goods وفينا good. طبعا good تيجي adjective تيجي noun. شو الفرق بيناتهم؟ لما نقول good student لا تختلف على good اللي هون. شلون good تيجي هنا؟
هون بضائع يعني.
بضائع. نقدر نقول good براحة.
البضائع.
ها؟
Yes.
Yes. إذا a good train is carries. ليش أنا singular صار؟
Carries.
a
Yes.
heavier load. A heavier load
Heavy.
than
Yes.
a truck is. Than a truck does. This is it does. يعني صار third person singular.
Does.
إذا a good train carries a heavier load than a truck does. Okay. هسه في عندنا 52 exercise بنعمل singular. So no, exercise 52 عندنا concord between subject and verb يعني agreement between subject and verb. Make the right concord between subject and verb by selecting one member of each of the pairs of verbs in the following sentences. Number 1. Yes.
There are people waiting to see you.
Then there are people. Yes. There are people. Number 2.
The people wholeheartedly support you.
Support. Yes. Support. And people. People support. Yes. Next.
Ours is a great people, isn't it?
Ours is a great people, isn't it? Yes.
I chose is because there is an article.
Yes. Ours. Next. Next. The police. Singular plural police here. Singular or plural? The police.
Have.
Plural.
Huh? Singular or plural? The police. Police, singular or plural?
Plural.
Plural.
The
And what do you
police
say
have.
here? The police what? What can we use with the police? Has or have here?
Have
Have.
an enviable task.
Yes, even the police have because it's plural, yes. Next.
You old folk don't know anything about us. Don't.
You old folk don't. Yeah, plural folk here, okay? You old folk don't know anything about us. Yes, next.
Splendid cattle were grazing on the hillside.
Even splendid cattle were grazing, yes. Next.
The youth are more serious than
Yes.
my generation
The
was.
youth are more serious than what my generation was. Next.
The youth was more serious than his uncle.
On this, I'm a singular. The youth was more serious than his uncle. Okay, good.
Yes.
Next.
The news, I'm afraid, has got much worse.
Then who's singular plural news here?
Singular.
Singular. This is uncountable news. Then we treat it as what? As singular. So we say the news, I'm afraid, has got much worse. Yes. Next.
mumps is an unpleasant ailment.
طبعا
هون
mumps
is
عبارة عن disease. إذا
yes
mumps is
is
unpleasant ailment. Yes. Next. Next.
Linguistics has developed rapidly
Yes.
in modern
The
times.
linguistics has developed rapidly. Yes. Next. The causative of this whole.
Are
Yes. Plural. Excellent. Yes. Next.
the archives of this
Archives.
society
Yes,
are
archives.
sorry.
Archives. كده بقى archives.
Archives. Okay, the archives of this society.
Archives.
Archives.
Archives. Archives.
Archives.
بالكاء مش بالشاء.
Okay, archives. The archives of this society are kept in the basement.
Yes, next.
Do people always believe what you say?
Do people always
Because
believe what you say? Yes. The last one.
Bacteria of the harmful kind cause disease because هون
Bacteria
لها
singular
مرض
plural bacteria.
singular
Bacteria.
مرض هي
Bacteria singular or plural?
plural
Plural.
yes.
Bacteria
Cause.
of harmful kind cause disease. Cause. Plural here, not singular. Yes. Now exercise 53, plural of nouns. Put into the plural as many of the nouns in the following sentences that will take a plural form and make other changes that then become necessary. Number one. When a crisis often occurs in the dysregulated family. Can we change this into plural crisis?
Yes, we can crisis. We can say crisis.
Say crises. يعني instead of I we use SE. Say crises. طيب. Crises often. What about the verb occurs here?
بيصير
We
occur.
remove the
Occur. Yes, occur. إذا crises often occur in the best regulated family. Okay. Next.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Another criterion is needed in analyzing this phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
Okay. Other criteria.
Other
criteria are needed in analyzing.
طبعا criterion شو بصير بالبلورال criteria. Okay.
Yes.
Is
are needed.
إذا other criteria are needed in analyzing
these
phenomena. These phenomenon singular phenomenon. شو plural من phenomenon؟
هاي irregular.
Irregular, yes.
Yes. بضيف
Plural is what from phenomenon. Phenomena.
Yes.
Okay. إذا شو بتصير جملة other criteria are needed in analyzing these phenomena, not phenomenon. Okay. Next.
The anonymous workman was the real hero on the campus. The anonymous workmen
Work,
were
work
the
what?
real
Workmen.
he
Yes, workmen
yes
were
were the real heroes on the campus.
in the campus. Even workmen were the real heroes on the campus. أو في كل campuses يعني يمشي. Okay. Next.
The runner-up was given a bound note. The runners-up were given bound notes.
Bound notes. Then the runners up were given pound notes. The last one.
The skeleton found in the lower stratum was taken at once to the museum. The skeletons found in the lower strata, I guess we changed it to strata. I'm not sure. Okay, strata were taken at once to the museums.
The skeletons found in the lower strata were taken at once to the museum. Okay, and question about your ننتقل exercise 55. 55. Now replace X in the following sentences by either who or which, Y by either he, she, or it, and Z by either his, her, its, or their. If two or more answers are possible, give them both or all. Number one.
I know a man
who yes.
could help you. He is very kind.
Yes, even I know a man who could help you. He is very kind. Yes.
Or we can say, I know a man that could help you.
نفس الشيء that. Yes. That أو who. Okay. Next.
I have a friend who could help me. He or she, because friend two genders.
Yes.
He or she is very kind.
مظبوط. إذا I have a friend who could help you. He or she is very kind. And a friend we don't know whether he is male or female. So we use he or she. Yes. Next.
I have an aunt who could tell you, but she is rather a bore.
But she is rather a bore, yes. Next.
My neighbor, who is an expert on such matters, will tell you, but she or he is out at the moment.
Yes. Then my neighbor who is an expert on such matters will tell you, but he or she is out at the moment. Next.
The committee, which meets every Wednesday, has not yet made up its mind.
Yes, then the committee which meets every weekend has not made up its mind. Yes, next. The committee, one of R. What do you use here? Who? With the committee who are very sympathetic, are giving the matter their careful consideration.
Consideration, yes.
Next.
The group which dominated society then was the family. It continued to do so for centuries.
Yes, then the group which and it continued. Next.
The family, who were seriously worried, met to discuss the scandal. They decided to try to hush it up.
In the family who were seriously worried met to discuss the scandal. They decided to try to hush it up. Yes, next.
The baby, which had fallen out of its perambulator, continued to scream as loudly as it could.
Why did you use it here?
Because we don't know if it's a girl or a boy.
So we can say, for example, the boy who had fallen out of his or her.
Yes, we can.
Yes, the baby, and sometimes they consider it as age, and not fully grown up.
She or he.
He or she, yes. Okay. Next.
The poor peach with her 5 puppies lay shaving the corner. She showed no inclination to move. Inclination to move.
Then the poor bitch with middle starting there or its hair or its 5 puppies. Lay shivering in the corner. هنقول she أو it برضه. So the no inclination to move. Next.
The majority who are in favor of the new measures want to make their voices heard.
Yes. Who and there, yes. Next.
Japan, which was isolated from the rest of the world for nearly 300 years, has now taken its place as a member of a world community.
The Japan which has taken its place, yes. Now we move to the next exercise 56, genitive with apostrophe S. Paraphrase the phrase below by means of noun modified by a relative clause as in the model. Look at the model here, for example. John's hat, يعني the hat that John has. The hat that John has. Number 1.
John's story, the story that John says.
The story that John told. The story that John told. Next.
John's present, the present that John gave, or we can say has given, or will give.
Okay. Even the present that John has given or has brought, can say, or has received. John's present, present for John, or the man who brought the present. It can be both. The man who brought the present or the man who received the present. Okay. Next.
John's mistake, the mistake that John made.
Yes. Then the mistake that John made. Yes. Next.
John's punishment. The punishment that John has received or will receive.
Okay. And then the punishment that John has received or will receive. Yes. Next. John's supper. How do you paraphrase
The
it?
supper that John has.
The supper that John has or has made, for example, or made. The supper that
Yes.
John has, or the supper that
Has had.
John has made. Yes. Next. His father's consent. His father's consent.
Can we say the consent that his father
Give. The consent that his father gave. Yes, next.
His father's interest. The interest that he takes.
Then the entrance that he takes. Yes. Next. Father's conclusion.
Yes. The conclusion that he comes to.
The conclusion that he has come up with, okay, or that he reached. The conclusion that he came up with, or that he reached. Yes. Next.
His father's influence, the influence that he has.
That he has, yes. The influence that he has. Next.
His uncle's murder, the murder that he suffered or committed.
The murder that he committed. Okay. My question about possessive with apostrophe is my question. Okay, if we don't have any question, then we stop here today and see you next time.